The unjust and discriminatory dress code enforced at Los Altos restricts students from self-expression and promotes body shaming because of the lack of leniency involved in the code. Here's why.
Since such punishment predominantly affects girls, some commentators say it could violate the Title IX, which is a federal law that goes against the discrimination in educational environments. There were laws against indecent exposure, but some schools went further by decreeing what was and what was not good taste, said Robson. Just because we see someone wearing something that we consider bad taste doesn't mean the state should mandate.
On one of the hottest days of the year, earlier this month in Tottenville High School in Staten Island, New York, over 100 students were dress coded for being in violation of the dress code, and they were either sent home or given detention. And so most of them came back to school in crop tops and tank tops, deliberately breaking the dress code in a form of protest. So the Department of Education got involved, and one of the other members said, "It's hot outside. Instead of shaming girls for their bodies, teach boys that girls are not sexual objects."
Oakleaf High School in Florida made headlines for forcing Miranda Lurkin, the age of 15, to wear oversized red sweatpants and a yellow neon shirt with each written dress code violation over them, in punishment for wearing a skirt that was above the knee. Her mother, Diane Lurkin, said the punishment amounted to humiliation and that she would file a complaint with the Federal Educational Rights and the Privacy Act. Schools have expressed that attire can distract students, so they are either sent home or given detention.
Other students around the U.S. have adopted the hashtag I'm More Than a Distraction, including 17-year-old Anna Huffman, who organized a petition at her high school to amend certain restrictions and to allow comfortable attire, such as leggings and yoga pants. She also stated, "These codes really target women. You don't see boys being sent home for wearing shorts above the knee."
We conducted a survey of 200 students and collected the following data.
Do you think a more lenient dress code would create bad behavior in students? 9% said yes, and 91% said no. Have you ever been dress coded? 47% have been, and 53% have not. 50% of students have been dress coded 0 times. 35% have been dress coded 1 to 2 times. 4% have been dress coded 3 to 4 times, and 11% have been dress coded 5 or more times. Do you feel like the current dress code is unjust? 14% said no, and 86% said yes.
We asked students at Los Altos for their opinion on the current dress code.
So how do you guys feel about the dress code here at Los Altos?
I think that they should be more lenient towards dress code. Women are victim and they're body shamed, are victims. I honestly think that they should be more lenient with dress code because when it's like 100 degrees outside, I'm not allowed to take off my sweater, and that's not okay.
How do you feel about having a more lenient dress code at our school?
We shouldn't have a dress code because I got dress coded today and I look fresh as hell with this shirt on. And then I had to wear this whack PE shirt from 2013. I need to express myself because self-expression is good and freedom.
We went to Lucerna to see the different environment that a more lenient dress code provides.
Okay, do you guys feel like you have a lenient dress code here?
I feel like it's fairly lenient, but I mean, they will catch you. If you're wearing spaghetti straps, they will point it out.
Yeah.
To be 2 fingers, but no halter tops and no spaghetti straps, and your shorts should be going to mid-thigh, but we don't have very good enforcement of it. I mean, in general.
I see like a lot of kids getting dress coded, or it's
not too often.
Rarely.
Very rare.
Yeah. I've seen maybe
so like
2 or 3 times.
Yeah. So like let's say if you guys were showing like a little bit of stomach, like would they like run to you guys and like
point it out to you, but they tell you not to wear it next time.
And if you guys were wearing like a spaghetti strap or something, and you guys had like a cardigan, would they like dress code you, or would they like give you the opportunity to like lift up your cardigan and that's okay?
They would give you the opportunity to pull your cardigan back on or up over your spaghetti straps. And cardigan, they don't
dress code you at all, even if you're wearing spaghetti straps.
Oh, okay. Do you feel that you have a lenient dress code here?
They don't really mind if we wear halter tops or tank tops, like as long as we're not showing too much or it's not too much of a distraction, it's fine.
Do a lot of kids here get dress coded?
Not often, I mean.
It's mostly for like shorts and stuff, like if you get dress code really, but other things like showing too much, they'll give you like a warning, but it's not anything really big here.
So our first possible solution would be to eliminate the dress code altogether. And some of the pros of this would be that everyone's able to express themselves equally, so everyone has the same opportunity to dress how they want and how they feel. Some cons would be that people would take this too far and take advantage of it, and it could promote drugs and violence and nudity.
Our second possible solution is to add uniforms. The pros is everyone is equal, no one feels less than anyone else, no social status. And the cons is that it restricts self-expression, personality.
This is the current dress code at Los Altos.
In the new modified dress code, leggings and yoga pants are allowed. They're able to show 1 inch of midriff, able to wear tank tops and muscle shirts, able to represent sports teams, able to wear beanies and hats outside of the classroom. There's no drug or violence references, no strapless shirts, no shorts too short or tight, no low-cut tops, and no gang-related attire. Some possible side effects could be that students will have a better attitude because of the freedom, and there won't be any more complaints. But some of the cons would be that people will still be offended by some of the things that people choose to wear, and people will take advantage of this new dress code.
We interviewed Mr. Hess, who is opposed to our solution of a modified dress code. He felt the current one was the most beneficial.
Mr. Hess, how do you feel about the current dress code policy here?
I think that our policies are good. It represents a professional environment.
Okay. Why do you think that the dress code is fair for the students?
I think it's fair because we're trying to get people to live up to what they're going to be doing in the future. We have high expectations for you guys. We want you guys to dress the way you're going to be dressing in college, dress the way that you're going to be dressing at your careers. And you're not going to be dressing with the things that are against our policy when you go to your career.
Do you think if any changes were made in the dress code, there would be like bad student behavior, that it would increase?
I don't think it's about student behavior. I really don't. I think it's about the fact that we want you guys to be professional. You know, there's a lot of other schools that just let dress code go and they don't really enforce it at all. And I think that that's not teaching you guys what you guys want to be for the future. You guys want to go into your work environment and be dressed professionally and show that, because when you dress professionally, it makes you feel better about your job and makes others feel like you are leading them, like you are their boss, like you are a good representative of the company.
And here at our school, who's the one that decides like the dress code policy?
It's all of us. It's like leadership, so it's going to be the teachers that are department chairs, it's going to be the principal, the assistant principals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Currently, right now, do you think there are more pros and cons in the dress code, or more cons than pros?
I think there's more pros and cons because, again, same thing. I'll keep going back to it. I think your future is more important.
Okay.
We want you guys to be able to represent yourself the right way in the future.
And also, last question, in any way do you think that the dress code we have here, it body shames like the girls or anyone, and like, you know, like raises like stereotypes? Because usually like the dress code, that a lot of people say it's like, oh, you're distracting like the boys, or it's a distraction to like a teaching environment. Do you feel that?
I'm not, again, you know, I'll go back to the same thing. I really don't think it's about a distraction. I think it's more for teaching you guys what you need for the future. Things more strict than other schools is because we want you guys to be on time. If you talk about the tardy policies, if you talk about attendance policies, we want you to be here because all these things are things you're going to need for whatever your future goals are. You know, if you go to a workplace and you see somebody dressed down, what's people's opinion of it? Right? Right, it's a bad opinion. So we don't want that to happen to you. We want you guys to be prepared for that.
Next, we interviewed Ms. Reimers, who strongly supported our solution of a modified dress code.
Ms. Reimers, how do you feel about the new modified dress code policy?
I am for the new modified dress code policy. The reason we started a dress code to begin with was due to ensure safety of our students. And it was based on gang affiliation, and it was mostly with colors and gang attire. However, the new modified, I think it's perfectly fine. I think girls should be able to wear their yoga pants, especially for PE and whatnot. And when it's hot, you should be able to wear it as long as you're dressed appropriately. I think it's perfectly fine.
Current dress code should be updated.
I definitely think it should be updated. I think some of the things in the past with the only white shirts, no sports attire, I think we've gone beyond the safety issue, and students should be able to express themselves in certain, with certain clothing and sports attire, and it's not such a safety issue anymore. So definitely.
In order to enforce this new dress code, we will create a petition signed by students at Los Altos High School. We will then bring this to the Board of Education of the HLP-USD. We need time and manpower authority to approve this new dress code.
I clear the schedule, I can give you all of my time. Turn on my camera, it's your moment to shine. How you do with all that spotlight? Can you make me feel inspired? Are you comfortable in that spotlight?